The Powhatan Confederacy was created by 7 tribes. They were an agricultural group that controlled Virginia and allowed the settlers to survive.
Jamestown was founded by the Joint Stock Virginia Company of London. It was the first permanent British colony in America, as the previous Roanoke colony, founded a few decades earlier by Walter Raleigh, had mysteriously disappeared. John Smith takes control of Jamestown, helping the colonists to survive and whipping them into shape.
He who shall not work shall not eat.
Samuel de Champlain also founds Quebec around this time, France's first North American settlement. Henry Hudson, an explorer working for the Dutch, began his travels through New York and the later named Hudson River. John Rolfe arrives at Jamestown.
John Rolfe is taught how to grow tobacco by the Native Americans.
John Rolfe perfects tobacco farming. This new cash crop provided returns for the European investors, influencing more expeditions to the New World. John Rolfe became the second savior of Jamestown, only after John Smith. The farming of tobacco and other crops heavily relied on the use of indentured servants. The first interracial marriage between Native Americans and Europeans occurs with Pocahontas and John Rolfe. This helps to provide good trade relations between the two groups. By 1618, over 90% of the native population in the Massachusetts Bay Area is wiped out. The House of Burgesses is elected in Jamestown as America's first representative assembly. This same year, the Dutch arrived with African slaves in America for the first time. The Mayflower first arrives with the Pilgrims. After landing, the Puritan settlers enacted the Mayflower Compact to serve as a self-governing government for the group. William Bradford served as the first governor of the Plymouth colony. The Native American Squanto served as a guide for the new settlers. The first Thanksgiving. Nothing much to say here except the Indians give us food and then we killed our people. The Indian Massacre of 1622. Chief this guy and the Powhatan Confederacy tried to kill settlers and prevent their colonization. 300 people were killed during this incident. Peter Minuit buys Manhattan Island from the Mannahatta Indians for a total of $24 million worth of trinkets. Massachusetts Bay Colony became the first settlement to be granted a royal charter by King Charles I. The Great Puritan Migration was the movement of many Puritans to New England. It was led by John Winthrop. Lord Baltimore founded Maryland as a refuge for Catholics. Roger Williams founded the Rhode Island colony after having been banned from Massachusetts only 2 years prior. Rhode Island provided for one of the first instances of separation of church and state. This same year, the Pequot War begins between the Pequot tribe and the settlers of Plymouth, Massachusetts, and Saybrook colonies. Through her stubbornness and preachings of antinomianism, Anne Hutchinson was kicked out of Boston. She and her children were later killed by a group of Indians as they were traveling towards Rhode Island for refuge. The Pequot War is ended by the Treaty of Hartford. The Fundamental Orders of Connecticut are written, serving as the first written constitution in American history. Massachusetts becomes the first colony to officially legalize slavery. Roger Williams receives an official grant to establish Rhode Island as a colony. This is also the year of the last large Indian rebellion. Maryland passes the Toleration Act, allowing toleration of all Christian religion in the area.